We're just going to be finishing yesterday's lesson, and then you guys are going to help me with this. Look at your happiness at that idea, but that's what we do. So just to run over it again, this is from Lisa Mack's instructions on how to write an analytical paragraph. She's a good person to listen to. She has a lot to do with the resource material, like the good answers, and the English Association, who writes one of the main papers people buy. So definitely pay attention to her. And she suggests, of course, that you have your topic sentence setting out the thesis for your paragraph. You develop it by giving that background information. Did you literally yawn?
Sorry.
I can't juggle and do this. This is as exciting as it gets. Develop it, then your supporting sentences leading up to your textual evidence, your 1 to 3 sentences explaining. She says it's really important to stop and review, make sure you answer the question and address your thesis, then conclude. Now I've started you off. Using yesterday's question, which is how has a text studied in class represented different ideas, I've given you your topic and I've given you your supporting. So the topic is, Grenville's purpose is reconciliation. So the ideas that are central to the cultural conflict 200 years ago are represented in the text, if only so she can demonstrate how damaging they were. The symbolically named smasher, stole your point, or over there, can't remember who it was, represents the extreme result of a society that sees women as sexual objects and other races as not human. The tragedy towards the end of the novel is an examination of when the ideas underpinning the European characters' beliefs in their own superiority win. So I frame it, I bring stuff in that I want the examiner to have in their mind when I deconstruct that point. I've managed to bring in the European characters, their English perspective of themselves as superior. I've brought in misogyny. I deliberately didn't use the word misogyny because I wanted to have more accessible language today, but misogyny is the correct word for the hatred of women. There's misandry, which is the hatred of men, and misanthropy, which is the hatred of people. So choose one today. And their racism as well. I showed awareness for the entirety of the text. I've already started using meta-language. So I'm doing a lot in 3 sentences, 2-3 sentences. Now I'm going to give you 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, actually I think 5, let's go 5 minutes. I'm going to ask you to do the supporting sentences, setting up for using the smasher quote we referenced yesterday with the biblical imagery that is repellent and sets him up as somebody whose ideas we should reject. I don't want you to put the quote in yet. I want you to be setting it up. Reflect to your sheet. Remember that these supporting sentences are 1 to 3 sentences long, no more. But you're getting from that big picture that I've given you to the fact that we are having his ideas represented as being repellent, as being the heart of evil. All right, 5 minutes. Okay, so if you haven't got anything, write this down. Smasher's ideological framework and its construction as repellent is evident in the following example when he tries to invite Colin Hill to join him in raping an Aboriginal person. Now, constructed and its construction as repellent. Yeah, thank you. Now, we've got that, so what do we need to do now? What do we need to do now? Put the quote in as a direct quote. And remember, because it's a speech within a quote, you're going to do that. Can someone read it to me slowly?
Black velvet.
Black velvet. Yep.
Who said his tongue flickered around the lips?
Okay, good. Now, I'm going to give you 5 minutes and I want you to deconstruct that because that is the next step. You've got to find me what it is in here that is, as I've told you already, biblical imagery, connecting him with the snake, dehumanizing him, making him appear alien, like snake-like. Reptilian is a really great word, reptilian, because that's sort of got that, when you apply reptilian to a human, it kind of makes them seem cold and repellent. But most importantly, that his ideas and his way of being is being represented as evil by drawing on that story of the snake tempting humans. All right? 5 minutes. Go. Yes. Where you've directly lifted the words.
As in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Do you mind if we lift it? Can we have it?
Yes.
Awesome. So, can you say it to me very slowly?
All
So,
of it?
yeah.
Okay. The description of Smash's behaviour. In this situation. Is a biblical allusion. Whereby Smasher.
Is that with an E or just a...
No,
No,
that's
that's it. Yeah.
Smasher is the snake.
Yep.
Of the Garden of Eden. And therefore a representation of temptation.
I'm going to put sin because I think that works better than the point. Go on.
The intimacy of his lips.
Yes.
With his reptilian comparison.
Yep.
Produces a repulsive character.
Now I'm going to stop you here and just end it because we're running out of room. But you know what? Okay, so what we've got now is the point where we stop and we read. We knew that this is one paragraph in an essay that has to answer this question. How has a text studied in class represented different ideas? It only has to be one idea in an essay that's going to look at many ideas. Well, let's read it. Grenville's purpose is reconciliation, so the ideas that are central to the character's conflict 200 years ago are represented in the text, if only so she can demonstrate how damaging they were. This symbolically named smasher represents the extreme result of a society that sees women as sexual objects and other races as not human. The tragedy towards the end of the novel is an examination of when ideas underpinning the European character's belief in their own superiority wins. Smasher's ideological framework and its construction as repellent is evident in the following example, when he tries to invite Thornhill to join him in raping an Aboriginal person. Black velvet, he says, his tongue flickering around his lips. The description of Sasha's behaviour is, in this situation, is a biblical allusion whereby Smasher is the snake of the Garden of Eden, and therefore a representation of sin. The intimacy of his licking his lips emphasises the reptilian construction, producing a repulsive character where racism and misogyny is now framed as evil. Alright, so do we have the word idea in there? Yes, we do. We have it in there. We then tell us what the ideas are, how they're represented. Those are the ideas. That's how they're represented. That's how we're meant to feel. But we have one thing we need to do now. We need to very specifically put that in a conclusion, referring to Smasher. We need it succinct. We've gone big picture, we've got big things, but we need that clearly, that all of this is about that European perspective of superiority and how that idea is represented as being destructive to our society. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to get that conclusion done. Kate Grenville's The Secret River represents different ideas that were circulating in the 19th century Australia, and Smasher's European arrogance and misogyny is represented as an ideology damaging to the new colony society and even moral integrity. Is that where you were going? Because I thought that was where you were going. It's just that some of what you had was beautiful, but you were continuing on your analysis, and you really want your analysis to go back there. So keep it. You want to shove it back up though. That didn't look good. Alright, so let's look at our whole paragraph. This is a whole complete paragraph. How has a text studied in class represented different ideas? Grenville's purpose is reconciliation, so the ideas that are central to the cultural conflict 200 years ago are represented in the text, if only so she can demonstrate how damaging they were. The symbolically named Smasher represents the extreme result of a society that sees women as sexual objects and other races as not human. The tragedy towards the end of the novel is an examination of where ideas underpinning the European character's belief in their own superiority wins. Smasher's ideological framework and its construction as repellent is evident in the following example, where he tries to invite Thornhill to join him in raping an Aboriginal person. Black velvet, he said, his tongue flickering around his lips. The description of Smasher's behaviour in this situation is a biblical allusion whereby Smasher is the snake of the Garden of Eden, and therefore a representation of sin. The intimacy of him licking his lips emphasises the reptilian construction, producing a repulsive character whose racism and misogyny is now framed as evil. Kate Grenville's The Secret River represents different ideas that were circulating in the 19th century Australia, and Smasher's European arrogance and misogyny is represented as ideologically damaging to the new colony's society and even moral integrity. Whew. Happy with that? Cool. Alright, things I want to point out, besides my bad spelling, but I am very tired. Notice that it isn't retelling a story. Notice that it goes from a progression of putting forward an idea, framing an idea, saying how we've got examples of it, giving us the example, analysing the example using meta-language, bringing it back to the question. You need to always keep that structure in your mind. That way you won't drift off course, that way you won't become repetitive. Yes?
After ideology, what does it say?
Damaging. Trust me, it does. Alright, there's also an extra word in there that should go. No, it's blocks there, sorry. Okay. I'm really hoping that you guys at the very least are going to take this bit in, but hopefully the whole lot. But this here is where most of you can immediately get more marks, right there. Where you're breaking it down, taking parts. So remember, you've got your showcase, you're bringing in bits of it. Where's it looking at lips? I'm seeing it being brought into the sentence. Yes.
What did it say, the last 3 words?
And even moral integrity. After ideology, what's it say? Damaging. Trust me, it does. Alright, there's also an extra word in there that should go. Alright, so you're feeling relatively confident about your paragraphing? Now we did this as a whole class, so it's probably a little bit better than you will actually do in an exam situation. But if you can just practice that structure when you get to your main body paragraphs, you'll find that you won't get in trouble for rewriting the story or drifting off topic or not providing enough evidence or not analysing your evidence. Just keep that in mind.